Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Danielle, and today we have some strict keto eating. We're going ahead, we're testing our ketones to make sure we are still actively in ketosis for weight loss. We are making a very, very easy but delicious keto-friendly, family-friendly meal, and we're eating as we go. So if you're interested in seeing what I eat that's easy, keto, and keeps you in ketosis, and how my numbers are throughout the day as I go, and how I'm getting in those extra fats to stay in ketosis, please stay tuned.
All right, we are going to start on our crock pot meal. So I have this is my Kasori crock pot. I love this thing. I've had it for a few years. You guys have seen it tons of times. I like it because you're able to like kind of saute stuff and also use it as a slow cooker, and you're able to actually adjust the temperature, which I enjoy. But anyways, we are going to make a Chicago style beef. So it's going to be like a shredded beef. What we're using are these little, I forget the name of them, round, I think they're like a tip roast. The thing is with these is they are very tough, so you're going to want to cook them for at least like 8 hours. So it's about 6:15 right now, so I'm going to throw these on. But yes, we're going to toss these in our slow cooker. These are the ingredients that I'm going to go ahead and use. If you've ever seen me make this before, traditionally I would use the packets, you know, of the Italian dressing, but I was looking and there's quite, so I mean, it's not necessarily the worst, but I feel like it's a lot of extra, and you know, I just wanted to try it out this way. So we're going to try to make the Italian beef on our own, because there is 8 servings per container, so just for one of these is 8 carbs. So I'm like, you know what, let me see. And it has like a lot of sugars in there and stuff like that. So you can see that maltodextrin and all that stuff. We don't want to eat any of that. So we're going to try to just make who am I doing this like clean keto? I need to check myself. But anyways, we're going to try to do it ourselves. So I got some organic bone broth. This is the beef one. This is really good for the electrolytes, and it's just 9 grams of protein. But if you are, you know, feeling a little under the weather, this would be really good for you here. And you could always save the broth and sip on it for later. So 2 for the price of 1. So it's 0 fat, 0 carbs, 9 protein. And yeah, so we got that. We got some Italian seasoning. We got some parsley, some black pepper. We got some basil. We got some oregano, some garlic, some salt. I don't know why this is out. These don't need to be out. Those are just back there. So, yeah, I'm gonna do, you know, a couple tablespoons of each. But yeah, but first thing I want to do is, because we have the option here, is I'm going to turn this on to brown and kick up the temp a little bit. And I'm going to drop a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in here, because I just want to just brown up these roasts a little bit, just to give them a nice little crisp, and then also add a little extra flavor. So just put a little bit in there, and yeah, so it'll give it a little extra flavor as well. All right, this is about to be, you can smell the oil heating up. So I'm going to take my little roasts here, if you guys can see. These are them. They're about 5 pounds, okay, for both of them. These do shrink, so you will lose some weight. But this is also a great meal that you could just go ahead and freeze. We're not trying to cook it, maybe just give it a little browning on each side, okay? Okay. So we've got a little bit of a, I'm popping this morning. All right. So I just wanted it to get this little crisp on there, so we got the other side crisping up. And we're gonna start adding in our ingredients as soon as this thing cools down. Okay, so we're going to start adding our ingredients. I am going to be taking the bone broth. This is the organic beef bone broth. I am taking 2 cups. I will link a recipe that I'm following loosely off down below. Next thing we have is some garlic, and I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of that. This recipe called for garlic cloves. I didn't have any, and it also called for garlic salt, which I didn't have any. So, you know, I just use what I got. Suggest you do the same. All right, and then we're gonna take some Italian seasoning. I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of that. We're gonna take some oregano, 2 tablespoons of that. We're gonna take some parsley. We're gonna hit that with 2 tablespoons. We're gonna take some basil. We're gonna do it with 2 tablespoons of that bad boy there. Pure sea salt. We're gonna hit that with about 2 tablespoons as well. All right, we're gonna take some fresh cracked pepper. Give that a couple swirls. What I like to do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna flip the meat. So this, because I feel like when you coat the top of it, it just sits on the top of the meat. And I want like everything to be coated. And then, you know, the broth is gonna act as your au jus. So you're gonna actually dump this broth over the meat. And the meat is gonna give off some water, so the broth will actually increase and it'll have a nice flavor because we're using that bone broth, and then we're gonna get some flavoring from the meat. And then don't forget we had the oil in there when we fried it, so that's gonna give it a good flavor as well. So this is all we're gonna have to do, all right? I know some people might think it was too heavy in the seasoning, but remember, this meat is a very tough cut of meat, and we're gonna cook it for like at least 8 hours. That's why we're starting this so much earlier today, because it definitely is going to have to cook, and then we're gonna have it simmer in its own juices, so everything will absorb, okay? The next thing we're going to add is some pepperoncinis, because I like them and they taste real good in here. So add as many as you want. I'm gonna add like a 2 heaping chunks. So I put that much in there. It's like I said, 2 heaping, but I am gonna give the meat just a splash of the pepperoni juice because it gives it a little something extra. Okay, so we have our, tell me the name of these meat cuts again.
That's eye around roast.
Okay, so Leo, luckily we got Leo here today. This is the eye around roast. So we have 5 pounds of that. We have some garlic, some salt, Italian seasoning, parsley, oregano, basil, black pepper, a little pepperoni juice, and some pepperoncinis. That's all you're gonna need. Like I said, you are going to want to cook this for 8 hours. But guys, this is going to be so good. So this is not only perfect for you if you're, because you're on keto, or I assume you're on keto because you're here. But if you're not, it's still bomb nonetheless. You can throw this on. This is perfect for the holidays if you know you're going to be out shopping all day, or you know you got like stuff to do with the kids, and throw this on first thing. You come home, it's going to be done. All right. So you're going to put this on medium. I'm able to do medium. I increase the temperature and I'm going to increase the hours for 8. Okay. So there we go. We're just going to put our little top on. And again, we're trying this. We used all these seasonings. You guys can see all my mess here. We used all these seasonings because I did just want to clean up the ingredients. I felt like it was a lot of unnecessary ingredients in this like Italian one. I mean, sometimes it's okay, but I really wanted to be able to reserve the bone broth and have that just, you know, for like an electrolyte boost. So I'm like, man, that's kind of a lot to kind of sit in there. So I figure we'll try it this way. It's definitely a cleaner version. I would still use these for like my Mississippi pot roast and stuff like that, but you know, I just thought we can try it out this way. If you wanted to skip all these seasonings, you guys literally could just add 2 packs of this and you would be all good, okay? That's your option. So if you wanted to do this and you weren't so much worried about conserving the broth and all that stuff, and you know, if you're just really just starting out. So, but if you did use 2 of these, mind you, it's about 16 carbs. So, That's always the thing. So I figured, you know what, let's try to season it ourselves and see what we think. We're going to be honest here. If it's bland, we'll say it's bland. I do pick up a fresh loaf of bread. This is the fresh French bread because my kids absolutely love these beef sandwiches, and I put it on fresh French bread. I just get it from the bakery, like at the local grocery store. We don't go to like a bakery. But yeah, all right, I'll be back. So I'm going to start my Bulletproof Coffee, and I know I get a lot of questions. So I've showed you with the MCT oil from 310. That one is my absolute favorite. It does not give me any GI upsets. MCT oil can do that, but that one's really nice. It's really easy on the stomach. But I'm going to take a tablespoon. This is not a tablespoon. This is just a chunk of, this is Carrie's butter. You guys are going to want to do like this grass-fed butter. You don't want to do like imperial butter. You want like a good grass-fed butter, okay? I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. You can go between, I go between heavy whipping cream and half. I just want to finish this one up. I have 2 packets of whole earth sweetener, and then I'm going to take a scoop of the vanilla MCT oil powder. Vanilla's good, and I really like the salted caramel, so you can go between those 2. So let's get the, and I also have this milk frother. You can throw it in the blender, but I used to do that, and it was such a mess because it always blew up because you put a lid and you try to blend up hot stuff, it's gonna pop. And it was like a lot to clean up as well. So I like to have this. It's only like $7 or $8 on Amazon. It's not too much. And I know Target has one too. So, and you can sometimes find them at Home Goods. So that's what I have. So let's get this together, shall we? So what I do though, I take some of the hot coffee and I will pour it over the butter MCT oil mixture that I have going on, so it will melt the butter, and then I'll whip that, and then once I get that nice and frothy, then I will add the rest of my stuff. So I just cover it up, and then you just take your frother, you can see this is how like creamy it gets, and I haven't even added any creamer yet, okay? So it's really, I know it's kind of intimidating to think like butter coffee, but it doesn't taste like butter. It just tastes very creamy and frothy. It's very good actually. I just think the fact that there's butter in there turns people off, but you would be pleasantly surprised at how good it actually is. That's what it looks like without any cream in it, okay? So I'm going to toss in 30 grams of heavy cream. I have it on my scale, so suggest getting a scale, guys. It makes life way easier. And then we're going to froth that. Now it's super frothy, and then I'm going to top it off with some more coffee. And there you go. Look at that. Doesn't that look gorgeous? You could sprinkle it with a little cinnamon. You could top it with a little Cool Whip. People have been doing that. Just keep in mind, real simple this morning, and we are just going to go ahead and have it just this way. But yeah, so good morning. Cheers to coffee in your cup. You guys seen my overall reading. Still in ketosis for right now. Yesterday I kicked myself out. I was at a 0.9, but I didn't eat a lot. So I made sure to get everything in, and I did really well, and I woke back up in it, so that was great. But yeah, so what's going to get this day started? I'm going to start this off with this Bulletproof Coffee, and I will check in with you in a moment. So I had to go and have a couple appointments today, so it's about 1 o'clock and I'm about to eat. I'm actually really hungry, so I'm gonna have I actually just picked these up. If you guys haven't seen the Costco like haul, it went up on Wednesday. Check that out. It's the video before this. But yeah, so these are the Folios cheese wraps. I think I'm gonna have 2 of these. They are 13 fat, 1 carb, 13 protein, and I'm gonna have them with some hard salami. These are 10 fat, 6 protein for 4 slices. So, and then I got some mayonnaise. So I'm going to make myself some little wraps real quick, and then I'll show you when they're all done. So here is my little folio. These are really good. I really recommend these, guys. If you are seeing these at your store, I got mine from Costco. meat with my mouth full, my bad. But yeah, these are definitely really good. I think I'm gonna have 2 of them. So that is what's for lunch. But let's check on our roast. Looking really good. It's still really tough, so it has about another hour and a half. So we'll let it sit. So, but I might, usually what I do is I cut it up on a cutting board and then I toss it back in. So, but it smells amazing too. Okay, so let's check on our beef here. Yes, it looks so good. All right, so I just kept like a little fork in my little flippers here. Oh yeah, perfect. You guys see? It just peels right off. That's exactly what you want. Perfection. Or right off, just falls apart, no bone. But you see how it just comes apart? That's kind of the thing with this is, because I did say it is a tougher cut of meat. That's why you want to cook it for, you know, a long time. So perfect if you know, had to get up and go to work. This would be done right when you came home. But I'm going to show you how I put them together. If you guys are new here, you've probably never seen these, but we have a little restaurant. It's called Portillo's. It's like known for their beef sandwiches. And yeah, I feel like a lot of places have their own rendition of it, but I'm going to show you kind of how we do it around here. But yeah, I'm just going to peel this all off. It smells really good, so the whole house smells good, and it's cold. So like it's a nice warm meal to come home to. That's what I live about. I live for and love about these crock pot meals. So all right, let me just peel all this up, or like shred it up, and then I'll come back and, oh gosh, look at this one, guys. Look at that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set our oven to broil. So that's what we're going to do. I used to have like the one that had the broiler on the bottom, but now I have it in the oven. But anyways, so this is our meat. I'll shred it up. It tastes very good. The sauce is like the juice is really, really tasty. So you just kind of let it simmer in here now while you're preparing everything. So this is a ton of meat. So this is definitely going to be enough for leftovers tomorrow, which is good because I have some stuff going on. So I won't be able to cook tomorrow, but this will be definitely enough for leftovers. So that's perfection. And if you didn't want to do leftovers, you definitely could freeze it and it'll be just as good. So we're going to start for my kids first. I always want to tell you guys, I eat keto because that's what I eat, but I also make my meals for my family. So I make things keto friendly and family friendly. So my daughters absolutely love these sandwiches, but I make theirs on French bread. So I'm just gonna, this is just like I said earlier, fresh French bread from our local grocery store. I'm gonna cut them and then kind of open them up and put the bread in there, okay? Leo's off today, so we got the man in the kitchen. So I'm just taking these foil pans. If you have foil sheets, that would be even better, but I forgot to buy foil. So, my bad. So you're just gonna put them in here. This one broke in half, but that's okay. So, here you go. Okay, so, and then what we're going to take into the fridge. We got some mozzarella cheese. If you guys are wondering about this no-calorie Milo's famous sweet tea, this is for Leo. I don't drink that, but he loves it. Right, babe? All right, so we're gonna take some shredded mozzarella and we're going to, okay, and then into the oven it will go. So remember, it's on broil. So into the oven. And then you just kind of watch it until it gets crispy, like bubbly brown. So that's the kids. For me and Leo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these little like brownie pans. Again, if you had foil, it would work out great. We're just gonna make ours like one at a time. And I'm going to just measure out, or for Leo, I'm just gonna go ahead and take some of the same mixture. We're just gonna make the same thing basically, just with no bread, because you know we about that keto life. So okay, and then we're going to take some of the mozzarella. Don't worry, we got clean hands. And we're going to just kind of top it. You guys can definitely use one of those Folios too if you wanted to, but those things are a little bit pricey. I'd rather just use the shredded mozzarella because I have it. So that's how that's looking there. And we're gonna put this one inside the oven as well. All right, my friends, here is what the girl sandwiches are looking like. So you just go ahead and close up the bread, and that's how I'll serve it to them. Just like so. Really, really good. But what I have right here is traditionally you would either have your beef sandwich dry or dipped. So when it comes out of the like the broiler, they dip it in the au jus, which is like this little gravy mix. Or you can have it in a bowl next so you can dip it yourself, which I usually prefer to do. You can dress it with some giardiniera or some pepperoncinis. I prefer giardiniera because it doesn't have any carbs. Pepperoncinis do have a couple carbs in them. I think it's 1 carb for like every 2 pepperoncinis. But these are all 0, so it's 0 carbs for 2 tablespoons, which is a good amount. So, and this one's really good. You can get it hot too, but I don't really want to burn my mouth. So yeah, let me plate up my girls here, and I'll show you how it looks, but it's gonna be real good. So here are the girls' sandwiches I showed you, but what I'm gonna do, like I said, you can serve it. I'm gonna take a little bit of the gravy and then just put it over, just to because you can dry out the meat a little bit, and then the bread, so the bread gets the juice on there. And then that's how it's looking. All right, so here is Leo's. You can see how I love for the cheese to get that like crispy, bubbly color, and then it kind of just gets all over the place. So I'm gonna actually put this. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and put this on a plate for him, and then we're gonna give him the juice so he can go ahead and do what he wants with it. But doesn't that look so yummy?
Mom!
How is it? Is it so yummy? Does it taste like Portillo's? Yeah? All right. So, okay, so Leo's gonna put a little bit of the oil from the giardiniera because he really doesn't like celery or anything like that. And then he's gonna just go ahead and dip his meat into the sauce. So there you go. So it's still keto. You're still getting the whole benefit of it, and then it's a lot less carbs, guys, because we made our own seasoning and we went ahead and did not use the packets, so we saved a ton of carbs that way. So holla, and it tastes really good. It has a super good flavor. The broth is really, really good too, and you're getting those bonus electrolytes because you are using the bone broth. I'm gonna set up my plate and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is like, I think it's 3.5 ounces of that meat. And then it has a little bit of the broth on there, and then I think it's about 40 grams of the cheese. I went kind of high on my protein today. I'm not very happy about that. I went almost 90 grams, but it is what it is. My carbs are low, so we will test it out and see how our our glucose, our ketones are looking right now after we eat. Ooh, look at that. We're definitely going to need that Bulletproof coffee. This is right after dinner. It's about 30 minutes after dinner. So we are just about in there. But I really didn't hit my fat today. So we really got to work on that. But it's okay though. We're still there. Not super high, but we in there. We still in it to win it. No worries, guys. Not every day you're going to get a 2. But as long as you're in that 1 to 3 area, it's all good. So you guys are going to wonder what I'm going to do to increase that. I'm going to have me another Bulletproof coffee, and before, like after dinner now, like I'm going to clean up and then I'll make myself some coffee. But this is after, you know, pretty much a full day of eating. So as long as we know that everything we're eating is still keeping us in ketosis, and you know, everything is not, it's not dipping us or kicking us out, then we're in the right direction. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean up. I gotta wash all these dishes and stuff and go get ready from school, and then I'll be back. All right, so I wanna show you guys my macros for the day. Not my best, but look, this is kind of what I wanna show you guys this too, because I think a lot of people think that like, because I do this and I show you guys that I always hit them and I'm like always the best, but you know, I'm human. You know, some days it's not to make bad choices, it's just I just was busy and just didn't hit the macros that great. But you know, we tried and we didn't go too bad over. So 7 out of 19 carbs, total of 10 carbs, which is phenomenal. 137 grams of fat, which is great. I try to hit anywhere from like 140 to 150. I was doing like 160 for a minute there, and I'm kind of titrating them down to like 140, 150. The scale's still moving, but it's very slow. It's a lot slower than it was like the first 2 weeks. So I went ahead and dropped them down to 150, but we'll talk more about this over the weekend. And then my fat was 86. That's kind of high. I want my fat to be usually around like 70. So I kind of went over a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. But it has everything in here. Those Folios, which I really, really like those. I think those are an awesome snack. Like just to have a lunch the way I did for like on the go. That is awesome. They are $10 at Costco, but they're good, guys. They're good. I wouldn't use them like to cook. I would just rather just use shredded cheese because it's cheaper. But for like a sandwich wrap or something, bomb. The salami. I think in retrospect, I probably would have not added that ham. I think the ham is what kind of put me over with my carb or with my protein, but it is what it is. 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, and then I'm gonna have another serving of Bulletproof Coffee right now, and then 3 ounces of the roast beef, and then 50 grams of mozzarella cheese. So that's everything right there. So the chart looks good, but again, I could have done better with the protein, but I'm not gonna beat myself up for it. It is what it is. So hopefully you guys like this and it's helping you guys. Let me know down below if you guys are going to try to recreate the beef sandwich, if you guys have ever had like a Chicago style beef, all the things. But all right guys, I'm gonna have my coffee and relax and call it a day. Check in with y'all in the next one.
All right, friends, hopefully you enjoyed this full day of eating. You know, I kind of wanted to include everything. Some days, you know, you're just busy and you're on the go, but who wants to spend all that money eating out, especially when you just hit up the grocery store and dropped all that cash there? So hopefully these recipes kind of give you some ideas, maybe what to throw in your crock pot or easy snacks to eat throughout the week, you know, whatever it is. Please let me know down below what you think. And if you're new here, hey, what's up? My name is Daniela, and we do this keto thing quite a few times during the week, but we also touch on everything that is anything in your everyday life, and I would totally love for you to stick around, join our crew. It's a great place to be. We real friends around here, and yeah, this is like the best part of the internet. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I love you guys so much, and I will see y'all on the next one. Take it easy, friends.